The Hubble telescope. NASA started working on the plans for what would become the Hubble telescope in 1968, but didn't get real funding from the government until 1978 when NASA was awarded $36 million. They also partnered with the European Space Agency, who agreed to provide funding and supplies if they were allowed to have a part in the telescope, and got 15% of the observing time on the telescope. 5 different centers were chosen to help with the production of the Hubble telescope. The first of these centers was the Marshall Space Flight Center, and it handled design, development, and construction of the telescope and its support system. Next was the Goddard Space Flight Center, which took care of the design, development, and construction of the science instruments and also performed ground control. Perkins-Elmer Corporation was used to tackle the telescope's assembly. Lockheed Martin was hired to build the structure and supporting systems, put the telescope together, and test the telescope. Finally, the Space Telescope Science Institution was established to evaluate proposals for the telescope time and manage the science program. It was the first and only telescope of its time designed to be serviced in space by astronauts. This is why it took a long time to finish developing the Hubble telescope. It took longer than preparing for a trip to the moon. It took almost 22 years from the first thought of the project until the launch on April 24, 1990. The Hubble telescope is named after Edwin Hubble, who made one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs of the 20th century when he discovered that the universe is expanding. The Hubble telescope is one of the largest and most versatile telescopes in the world. It was launched in 1990, and it is as long as 2 school buses and weighs as much as 2 adult elephants. It travels around the Earth at about 5 miles per second. It takes pictures of the planets, stars, and galaxies. It is a reflecting visible light telescope, but it also is able to become an infrared and ultraviolet telescope as well.
The telescope helped NASA discover many things. Black holes were one of them. Hubble discovered supermassive black holes might most likely lurk in every galaxy that has bulk of stars in the center. This showed that the link between the black hole size and size of galaxies evolve in concert.
This is dark matter, and dark matter is invisible but reveals its existence via gravity. The Hubble telescope analyzed the distortions caused by dark matter gravity on light from distant galaxies. With this info, the telescope helped construct one of the 3D maps that shows where dark matter is distributed in the universe.
In this photo, taken by the Hubble telescope, we see dark energy. The Hubble telescope discovered the fact that the rate of the universe's expansion is not slowing down or going constant, but is inexplicably accelerating. The bubble dark energy makes up 74% of combined mass energy in the entire universe. In this photo, you will see gamma ray bursts. They are the most powerful explosions known in the universe. Hubble helped discover these bursts typically occur in galaxies that were actively forming stars and were low in metallicity. In this photo, you see the universe. Using the Hubble telescope to determine speed, distance, and acceleration, scientists could then work out time needed for current galactic distances to be reached. They used this information from the telescope to discover how old the universe is. Because of the Hubble telescope, we have figured out that the universe is 14 billion years old.
Now, I know you're all thinking, how does these facts and a telescope relate to football and the Super Bowl? But this game is going to be so far out of this world, you have to use the Hubble telescope to see it. So enjoy the game, and we hope you remember these fun facts about the Hubble telescope.